Welcome, everybody. My name is Ronald. I work for Capgemini Stavanger as a SharePoint developer, /.NET developer, / whatever it has code. As you know, yesterday we had a party, and I took a Mexican hat by mistake or accident. So if you know the owner of the hat, please let me know, so he'll get it back. Okay, so time to speak about the CSS now. It's important stuff. In CSS animations, you can define X quantity of states, right? And then you define, of course, the initial state. You can have a lot of states in the middle, and then you have the final state, of course. But you can have X quantity of states that you want to apply to that particular animation. The change that you do to those states goes automatically. If you say, for example, that you're using 5 seconds, and you have 5 states, you define the %. And then you say, I want this thing to run in the 10% of the animation, and then the other effects in the 50%, and so on. I guess I have to use the mouse. Yeah, you can make as many CSS properties as you want, as many times as you want. And then the change in the properties change gradually. If you're changing the color from yellow to red, so you will get the orange in the middle. So it's not that you change, you don't change the color right away. There is a graduation thing in the middle. So this is what we see here is the CSS part of the animation. They are split in 2 parts. They have like the normal CSS file, and then they have something else that is called keyframe. In the CSS part, we have the animation name, which is this one that I'm selecting right now. We have the duration of the animation. You say how long do you want that animation to last. You have a delay if you want to implement some delay on it. You have the iteration. You can say that you want it to run, for example, 2 times, 3 times, or infinitive, like this example here. And then you have something that is called timing. I'll explain you afterwards what timing means. Then we go to the keyframe. This is CSS as well. Normally, people add the keyframes animation in another CSS file, but you can have that, of course, in the same file if you want. It's up to you, I guess. We have the name of the animation here. We have the states. In this case, we have the 50% and the 100%. So if you say that you want this animation to last for 5 seconds, you will run this part of the code in the first 2.5 seconds, and then the rest of the time will be this animation here. And what you have now are the properties. So in this case, we are adding 300 pixels to the left side, and then we are removing those 300 pixels. So let's get some action. Before looking at the animation, it's important that you understand that we don't have any JavaScript code at all. So all the animation that you will see are CSS3 based. The only jQuery code that I have is the one that is assigned in the CSS class to the green controls when I click on them, and that's all. But we don't have any JavaScript running animations here. So as you can see here, we have an animation name who is called div1. The animation stays in the right side. I'll say that it will last for 5 seconds. And then in the keyframe, I say, well, in your 50%, you will add 300 pixels to the left side, and then you will remove them. So we click on the button. It runs the animation. So it goes to the right because you are adding pixels to the left. And then removing those pixels to the left before reaching the 100%. Now we go to something a little bit advanced. We have 4 steps or 4 stages in the keyframe side here. So you can see how we change the color for that button. And then we have in the animation saying that it's going to last for 5 seconds. So when I click here, in the last of 5 seconds, it's implementing all the colors that I have in the right side. Red, yellow, blue, brown. So as you saw there, let me click it once again. Is that one to work? Now, so you see that the color changed gradually. It's not something that changed right away. So you have some animation there in between, and you don't have to do that. The browser takes care of that animation for you. So now we have something tricky. We have 5 states in this keyframe, and we are changing multiple properties at the same time. We are changing the background color, we are changing the left, and then we are changing the top. So as you can see here, when you reach the 25%, I want the left part to add 200 pixels. and I want the top to be 0, right? And then we change the top, so we are basically doing the square effect. So when I click there, so you see changing colors and changing positions at the same time, gradually. One of the CSS properties that you can implement is called reverse. If you do the reverse, it's going to run the animation the other way around. So if we click here, you can see how that works. So it's exactly the same animation that we have seen, but now we're using the reverse property. We have another property that is called alternate reverse. And in this case, I'm adding the iteration count. So you can have that in the shorthand properties, or you can have that in their own property that is called animation iteration count. So we have 3 here. The reason why we have 3 is because it's called alternate reverse. So it's running in one way, then it's coming back, and then it's executing the normal way. So if we click there, running in reverse, then the normal animation, and then it goes back to the reverse once again. You can also have a delay in the animation. So let's say that you don't want that animation to run right away. So if you define the quantity of seconds, and you have that 2 times, he will understand that the second one means delay. Or you can use the CSS property directly that is called animation delay, as you can see commented in that line. So I click there, we wait 2 seconds, and then it runs the animation. The timing function. When you are executing the animation, you have different ways to say how do you want that to start or to end. They will last exactly the same quantity of time, but you can define if you want that to start faster or slower than any other timing thing. For example, if you see is, a slow start, then fast, and then a slow endly. And then you see, for example, linear is the same speed from the start to the end. This one is with a slow start, a slow end, and then a slow start and end. So if you want to see all of them at once, so you know how that works, we click in this button here, and then you see all of them are starting from the same place. They are ending exactly in the same place, but they are running the animation in different times with different timing. But all of them are lasting for the same quantity of seconds. Yeah, I did something really easy because I was playing around with the animation things. So I was trying to simulate the leaf effect, like falling from the tree. So as you can see here, for example, we are doing some rotate, not a big deal, and we are playing a little bit with the margin. So we put the element down and going to the back and right. So if I click here, you should be able to see the leaf, and then you see. It's not a big deal. But you can understand with that way how easy it is try to manipulate the animations. The important thing about animation is that you need to be wise when implementing the animation in your page, because you don't want the end user to take attention to stuff that doesn't make too much sense. If you have a lot of animation in your page, they will not read the content, or they don't have any concentration with the content. I have some examples in my personal website. Let me see. I have some example in my personal website that is mavarez.net. It is my last name. So if you go to mavarez.net, you will see how I was using the animations down there. I guess that we can show some example with buttons now. We don't have internet here, so it's going to take too long. So that's all, guys. Thank you very much.